relax, be cool. Cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. The Lord of the Rings. It's mandatory for people talking about it to forward their credentials, so I guess it's my turn. I never read the books, though I appreciate the impact that J.R.R. Tolkien has had on pop culture. And let's be real here, history. I have, of course, seen the movies. I also own the extended versions. Suffice it to say, I adore them. The Hobbit trilogy is forgettable and a severe downgrade from the OG trilogy, but with its troubled production, it's really not a wonder how things got to where they ended up with that. As for the modern age, no, I have not seen Amazon's Rings of Power. I downright refuse. From what I understand, it's a girl boss, agenda-pushing, narratively incompetent piece of vomit and diarrhea condensed into a TV series that's gone 2 seasons too long.
There is a tempest in me. It swept me to this island for a reason, and it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
And also, as I understand it, Amazon doesn't even have the full rights to many of Tolkien's works, so most of it is made up, making it glorified fanfic, as the YouTube critics call it. I've heard enough from them to assume I don't need to see it. Well, it seems that a proper film set in Middle-earth, as we all know and love it, is here. I'm assuming it's made by the fine folks at Sola Digital Arts all the way in Japan, with a little help from the West's very own Warner Animation Group. WAG, I can't seem to get away from you. Needless to say, this went in a very artistically different direction, being an animated film, and an anime no less. And wouldn't you know it, it's mired in controversy, because of course it is. Well, I mean, a lot of people were saying that it's a girl boss groan fest, and it's hard not to be concerned about that sort of thing because, well, let's face it, in the modern age of film, there's a lot of movies that are doing that. Far too many once respected creatives have unfortunately bent that knee to make products that cater to modern audiences, which have proven time and again to neither exist nor be profitable. And of course, once they are not profitable, it's the YouTubers and lifelong fans that are blamed for its failures. Someone make that make sense. But it's strange because there are some voices out there that are saying that it's being completely taken out of context. Well, I guess it's time for me to watch the movie myself and formulate my own damn opinion. So, yeah, this is my honest opinion of Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Set almost 200 years before the War of the Ring, Hera, voiced by Gaia Wise, is the only daughter to the King of Rohan, Helm Hammerhand, voiced by Brian Motherfucking Cox. When a proposed marriage between Hera and rival lord's son named Wolf, voiced by Luca Pasqualino, goes south, ending in the rival lord's death, Wolf vows revenge. As time passes, Wolf manages to assemble an organized threat to Helm's people and begins a war that forces them to the strongholds that will one day be known as Helm's Deep.
This is no rabble of wild men. These men are well-trained and well-armed.
It definitely has an identity crisis at times, but I really dug the flick. Can't tell you how relieving that is. Now let's answer the white-hot burning question here. Is this a girl boss flick? I say no, long and short. Imagine if they made a standalone movie about Éowyn. Éowyn's awesome. Miranda Otto is awesome. That's just because I have a crush on Miranda Otto. What makes a girl boss story? It's making the lead female character unnaturally strong and capable like an 80s action star, but her competence is dictated by making the men around her stupid or incompetent themselves. And generally speaking, her personality is unlikable, so no one watching the movie actually roots for her to save the day. Hera does not fit this bill. She's a pleasant person with a warm personality, not entirely dissimilar to Wonder Woman in the first Wonder Woman movie. She loves her father, as impulsive and short-fused as he can be, and she loves her brothers. She never talks down to them, and they never talk down to her. In combat, she's not the best of the best of the best. No, she gets her ass handed to her and needs help sometimes, or has to rely on cunning and creativity to get her out of scrapes. One of the best examples of this is early on when she's being chased by a rabid Momak. Instead of trying to fight it Legolas style, she lures it into the swamp of a freakishly large Watcher. First off, I don't remember Watchers being so huge that they can eat a Momak whole. Either that Watcher was unnaturally big, or that Momak was unnaturally small. Actually, now that I'm watching the scene in Pelennor Fields, those Momaks are colossi. The one chasing Hera was pretty small. I need a Tolkien expert, I have questions. But nearly every altercation she's in, she survives because someone helped her. She doesn't take up any leadership role by force, it's all circumstantial, and when responsibility calls, she answers. She's no bodybuilder either. She has a small frame, looking like she could be right up there with an elf. And when she's in the climactic fight wearing battle armor under a wedding dress, bro, she looked hot. If either Liv Tyler or Miranda Otto sported that, I would have lost my shit. By the way, can I get 3 cheers for the main character being a ginger? Hell yeah, ain't no race swapping this bitch! A minor victory, especially considering that this was made in Japan more than anything, but it's the little things, Jimmy. Most of the supporting characters are fine. The brothers exist. Older brother Haleth is a decent enough chap, hyper loyal to his father and eager to fight anyone who challenges him. Discount Boromir, basically. Hama is the more quiet and reserved one. Alwyn's pretty cool, an aging shield maiden herself who tries to keep Hera out of trouble. She has her moments of badassery, but the true standout is Helm Hammerhand himself. He's a fair king, but he don't take no shit. He isn't afraid to go hand to hand with anyone. Hey, if I stood 7 feet tall and was built like a cave troll had a love child with Rob Halford, I'd be confident in my fisticuffs too. No, seriously, his strength is almost comical. The whole conflict of the story starts because one punched the rival lord and homie was pushing up daisies. And he wasn't built like a twig either, just fat. But then later on at the Hornburg, he's fighting legions of wild men with no weapons and proves to be one of the most insane brawlers in the entire franchise. Very clearly reminding me that this is an anime and not afraid to wave that flag. It's not very Lord of the Ringsy, but it's still pretty freaking cool. Finally comes the main antagonist, Wolf. I'm mixed on the guy. I get that he wants revenge for the death of his father. I understand that he feels humiliated by Hera's marriage rejection. But there wasn't enough character building to really understand why he went so far off the deep end. And that brief-ass flashback to when he and Hera were kids didn't help much. Maybe if there was one additional good scene with them together before his father got wasted, portraying him as a tight-ass but mildly sympathetic dude who ended up taking a dark path, would have gone a long way. He's merciless and he does commit horrible acts that got me there to hate him, but I could have used more. I do enjoy the story, for the most part. It definitely recycles plot beats from Two Towers. Edoras is about to be attacked and people leave for Helm's Deep, which gets attacked as well, though significantly scaled back compared to the Uruk-hai invasion. They had siege towers galore, whereas Wolf's Legion spends most of their time building one big one that barely gets used. But it works, and adding to a harsh winter that threatens to kill the survivors, in addition to limited food and wood to burn, it's not a bad way to add to the drama. But there are some bizarre moments thrown in. Apparently, Helm's Deep has this kooky old hag keeping watch over it like a witchy housemaid. I won't pretend to know what that's about. Not like the movie does a good job of explaining it anyway. I did enjoy how Helm Hammerhand was handled though. Before reaching Helm's Deep, he got severely wounded, though survived. When no one was looking, however, his body suddenly vanishes. Rumors start spreading that Hammerhand was killed and his ghost became a vengeful, merciless monster, killing several wild men. I won't spoil, but I love the atmosphere in this section, almost going full horror movie. The only problem is what the final reveal of the ghost really is, and it doesn't quite explain what the truth is, making it confusing. I will spoil that Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd have cameos as orcs though, and it's pretty funny. Look, I won't pretend that this holds a candle to the OG trilogy. Most, if not all, the characters are just watered down versions of better characters from that story. Minus Helm Hammerhand. It's not going to go down into the pantheons of one of the great adaptations of Tolkien's work. It's not that good. But I don't agree with everybody who's saying that it's a girl boss movie. It's not perfect, and it absolutely has some glaring issues. But compared to how most established IPs have been handled in modern Hollywood these days, this is nowhere near the worst of them. And I have to believe that this is leagues better than whatever Amazon is pissing out. I don't have a problem with it. It exists, I had fun with it in the moment, and I think any Lord of the Rings fan should give it a chance. My honest rating for The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, a strong 3 out of 5.
You think I am afraid of you?
You should be.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that like or dislike button. All engagement is welcomed. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And as always, have a great day, have a happy new year, and hope to see you soon.
Later than you think. So be cool. Just relax. So be cool. Face facts. 'Cause time